a Tamiya MudMad build, and I think you'll agree it's coming along very nicely. Hi guys, it's Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and today I'd like you to join me as we build a Tamiya MudMad. This will probably be broken down into a couple episodes, and I've never, other than the unboxing, I've never seen one of these before, so I'm really excited to get stuck into it. And to be doing so, I'll be using the standard little Tamiya toolkit. I've got the 9 steps vintage RC kit, and I've got the rudimentary hobby knife, a bit of emery paper. I've got the 9 steps gizmos here that's going to help with it, and of course some 9 steps nippers. So join me as we build the MudMad. Alright, so let's have a look. Step 1, luckily enough, starts with bag A. So let's have a look. What I like to do when I do my RC work is give myself a nice big workstation, and I'm working here over a rubber mat to avoid anything bouncing and making its way onto the floor with any luck. If I could just open this pesky bag and get these screws and hardware out, and we'll call that mess pile A. Okay, so what does it call for here? We need the gear set. Looks like we need this one here. 30 and 14 tooth. That's the 3014 as inscribed. Times 2. This one here, got one gearbox which does front and rear wheel drive. So it is in fact 4-wheel drive, but it has a front and rear half of the same gearbox. There is our 30/14, and we need the gearbox case. Need to cut that off the sprue, breaking out the nippers. Get in there. I like to do a rough cut first. Pop that out of the way. Gearbox case number 2. Beautiful injection molding here from Tamiya. Then I'll get my hobby knife and I'll run over the sections where I've taken it off the sprue, get it all nice and neat. A little bit of work like that. Doesn't need too much on this kit. It's not going to be finished painted or anything like that. Then I'll come along, I'll do a test fit of the gearboxes and make sure that they do in fact align up and fit each other as they should, and that there's no sprue or leftover injection molding getting in the way. That's gonna come together beautifully. Fantastic. So will I get this side downwards? We've got our 2 gears and we need our 2 BA13 shafts, which we can, on the instructions here, these ones right here, this one, and indeed this one. Okay, now I need 4 bushes, G3s. This is my G parts tree. Beautiful nippers. Again, you can finish it off with the hobby knife if there's any dags, which there isn't. They cut really well. Okay, got my Tamiya grease here. Just use it sparingly. Beautiful. I like to lubricate the shaft on both sides to make sure that it's gone all the way through that it can. It will work its way in more, but here we are. Okay, now we can start assembling our gearbox case. So it requires a bush, and it should in fact locate right in here. And this one right on the other side. The beauty about the grease is that it holds the bush in place while we can get it in. There we go. Can put the bushes on top. Put a drop more grease there and there. Then as we offer up the gearbox housing again. Perfect. So there is our two first gears in the gearbox. Now we're going to need to put some screws in there. And I've got my GIS screwdriver right here, and the BA2, which is that screw right there. Need 4 of these screws. I like to get all the screws started and torqued down quite evenly. There's no need to use an electric screwdriver or anything like that. The self-tap does go in quite nice. It will be firm to start with, but that's okay. That gives us good purchase on the part. Okay, got our 4 screws in. We can go ahead and get that gearbox case just nice and snug. Like I said, I don't tighten it down until they're all done. Do them up all nice and evenly. In this instance, I'll do it in a cross pattern. So I'll do one over here, over here, over here. There we go. And that's our initial gearbox housing. Okay, then on to step 2, which requires 2 of these gears, the 4912s. Again, it's inscribed on there that you probably can't see it on camera. Front and rear, so it'll be 2 gears. And again with the gear shaft. So I'll go ahead and put a drop of lubrication on there. Put it through the gear, and then I'll do it again on the other side. Just a drop as it comes through. This one, exactly the same. There's a bit of excess on that, so I can just wipe it over with my finger. There we go. Fantastic. Need a couple of more G3, 4 more G3 bushes, which are right here. And these are something that you could in fact supplement and upgrade to with ball bearings, but I don't think with the power and the output of this machine that it's in fact critical. Make sure that there's no excess on there. Can go over and just trim it off. Perfect. Go ahead and put the bush on, and we're going to offer it into the gearbox case, and this does mesh with the other gear. Like so. That's one in. Next one, I'll put an extra drop on this one. be surprised how far this lubrication will in fact last. Offer it up. There we go. Just turn it over to ensure that we've got good mesh. And we have in fact. Go ahead and I'll put these on. There we go. Now our gearbox is nearly done, so it's time to put our gear case on. Like so. The flashing's coming off really nice on this kit. Put that on the right way. Offer it up. Beautiful. Bushers are on. I'll get my fingers in there and just rotate it nice and smooth. No slop, no grinding. Everything feels perfect, which you'd expect on the engineering on Tamiya. So we'll go ahead, put some more of these BA2 screws in. 2 more. At each end of the gear case. It's really important to remember with Tamiya kits to use a Phillips head screwdriver that is what we call JIS size, or Japanese industry standard size, and that gives it the right profile so that you won't strip the screws and get nice purchase on the head, allow you to apply the appropriate torque without damaging the head of the screw and potentially slipping off and wrecking it. So that is steps 1 and 2 done. Now let's work our way to step 3. What have we got here? We've got the motor going into the motor mount. So here we have our motor, and over here on this parts A sprue we have our motor mount case. So we'll cut that off. Beautiful detail. Motor sounds fine. Again, it's offering up that we can put stickers and stuff on the motor, but I won't do that at this stage. And I need to find some machine thread screws. And they are not in that bag. They're right here in the other part of bag A, RC parts. Can open it up here. Okay, I'll offer that up over the instruction. That is indeed the right size. And we need to put this on number 16. Notice the gear case has got 2 alignment points, and that's because it's got 2 gearing options. Get those screws lined up in there, like so. As per the instructions, red seems to go on the bottom. Go ahead and put those screws in. Oops, slipped in the case. A little bit tricky to line up this one. Just moving around a bit. It's time for shore. There we go. Again, just leaving one loose till the other side gets done up. Then we can apply a bit of torque at the end. Lovely, the motor's on. And then we've got a 16 tooth motor gear. Just ensuring that it is in fact 16 tooth. Yep, big numbers there. And it's a matter of pressing it on the shaft. So no grub screw on this, it's just press fit. It's important to get it lined up as per the instructions, or else it'll foul on the gearbox case. And there we go. It's as simple as pressing it on. Makes it nice and easy. Okay, now we're going to sit this to the side, and it's asking now that we start working on drive shafts. So I can see over here that we've got some drive shafts. It's saying to assemble 4. I've got 4 of them here. Now the plastic component of these drive shafts are on the sprues, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these off. Like so. And the other 2, it's asking to do 4 at once. Cut off any flashing. Beautiful and smooth. We have to line up the flats and put in Allen keys. Again, in my 9 steps toolkit, I've got the 1.5mm Allen key, which is what we're going to use here. Get this one lined up on the flat and in. Very important not to strip these. Just having a look there. Beautiful. That is one done. Let's continue with the other 3. Oops. Last one going together now. There we go. Okay, so then the next part I have to find is the C8. Get my C sprue over here. Part of my universal. Again, I need 4 of these, so both C8s, well, all C8s, 4 of them come off. Now the instructions are saying to put the Allen key in such. And like so. This one too. Everything here obviously is times 4. Okay, then let's get the last part of the drive shafts off of the part sprue. And the good thing about these drive shafts is, like I said, that the composite of the material is quite soft and rubbery, which is going to lend itself to really good wear characteristics, and it's going to be very resilient to breaking as well. It's going to have lots of stretch and lots of give in it. So for this one here, let's say put the Allen key to hold it and clip it on like so. And do that again. There we go. 4 drive shafts. Fantastic. Now we're over a page already. So now we're into installing the drive shafts into the hubs. So we'll get our hubs off of part number C14 on our C sprue. Cut them away. Again over here, good thing about this car is that there's 4 of everything, so if you can do one of it, you can do 4 of it. Very similar construction, front and rear. Okay, so I've got my hubs. Now it's asking for some bushes. The bushes it's asking for is G2. So that will be these ones here. We'll go ahead and cut off. We can cut them all off at once. I'll press them all in now. Get that sprue out of the way. Next one over here. Okay, there we have our 8 bushes. So it's time for me now to install them into the wheel hub. And at this point we can put a little bit of grease on our axle. It's asking for a little bit of grace. And it's asking to locate it with 4 large body clips for the moment. I'm sure that that's just a temporary thing while we do the build. That's one corner done. That is our little axle and drive shaft assembly. Okay, so again, 3 more of these to do. Might grease these up first. See if I can't streamline it a little bit. Like so. Nice and smooth. Very smooth, especially just for a bush. Okay, so that's our 4 hubs done. What else are we at now? Okay, so now we're looking at, again, back to the part C sprue. Oh, sorry. We're looking at putting the suspension balls in. So I've got these ones here to offer up, and I've got 2 of these to go on the front ones. Got my handy Tamiya tool, 5.5 mil. And it just threads in like so. This one here, and this one. Again, don't need to over tighten anything, just snug by hand is fine. You feel it will come to a gentle bit of resistance near the end. Just going to have a look at this one again. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, C11 is the next part. Back to our C sprue. This one right here looks like the lower suspension arms. And while I'm on the C sprue, I need to do C1s. These little suspension balls over here, little pillow balls if you will. To improve it, make sure there's no flashings, residual. There we go. Bit of flashing on the front here. Perfect. So it should make a snapping sound. Oh, it does. Quite a good location. Yep, like so. I'm looking for my B8, just this one here. And this is all contained within step 5 of the MudMad. So far it's going along really nice. And a couple of BA screws. Just ensuring I've got correct orientation in the parts. A couple of BA2 screws can go straight in here. There we go. Being 1/24 scale, everything is quite petite and small on it, but fits really well and precise nonetheless. Okay, so we're going to come down further now. Now we're up to step 7 in the instruction, and it's asking for springs. Of which we have here 4 springs. That's going to give us the suspension and the articulation of the truck and give us great drivability, I'm sure. BA3s, BA6, which is a washer, 2 of those, and BA7, which is a smaller washer like so. So at this stage we take the suspension, putting this one through. Like so. Got our spring on, and we'll put our right steering knuckle on, and we can fasten that one down. Like so. That's got our, and that's where we've got our beautiful suspension movement from. Lovely. All nice and secure, everything's nice and sound. Go ahead with this one. Put the washer through the pillow bowl. Small washer. Spring, and then steering knuckle. Go ahead and fasten this one in. And there we have what is seemingly our front suspension on our MudMad. Okay, so let's keep having a look over. What are we up to now? Differential. Back to the gearbox. So here we have our Diff Gear and the parts over here. Bring it over to the center. I'm going to start applying a bit of grease into the casing. Like so. Got our little out drives in. Put this one here. Fantastic, that'll take a bit of running in. Then we can do the other side as well. Got another set of gears. Like so, put a bit more grease. There we have our little working differential, as simple as that. Now it's asking for the bushes G1. Now they are the last bushes on my tree, either side of the diff out drives. Go ahead and trim these up. Like so. And then we can go ahead and put it into our gearbox case. I'm just going to put a little bit of lube on here first. Like so. Perfect, and there is the front section of our gearbox going together. So I need my gearbox case, part number A4, my A sprue, where is my A sprue? So my B sprue, over here. Got my A sprue, A4. Cut it off of the runners. Just going to put a little bit of grease on that gear so that it'll work its way through the gearbox. And I'll go ahead and put this casing on with the BA2s. All of these screws here. Like so. And here we have how our front suspension and steering is going to sit over our gearbox. Oops, sorry, I forgot. My fault, I didn't line up the indentation on the suspension. Put one drive shaft in. This is a little bit awkward getting this drive shaft in like so. Trying to locate this one now. Like so. And here we have the front of our MudMad suspension almost together. Let's continue on as we move forward towards the lower mount of the front suspension arms. So we're going to find that indeed on sprue number C, or letter C. This one right here, C11. Go ahead and cut that off. We've got some more C1 pillow balls. Push those in, very similar to the other side that I assembled. And we've got our 3 by 10 millimeter grub screws here, right here. These ones will come in from the top. Like so. Screw these through. Like so. Perfect. Then we've got a couple of ball ends BA11s, sorry, BA8s to come on board. Which I can use my 2mm Allen key for. And these will thread straight in. Okay, coming up to the end of this chapter of the build series, but I want to get this front end together if we can. Coming over now to page 11. No, I think we might bring it to a stop there, because then we're going to start to assemble the rear end before moving back to the front and getting the lower part on. So I think we'll bring this chapter to an end of the build of our MudMad. You can see here, in only the small amount of time that we've had, is that we've got nearly halfway through the instructions, and we've got just about half of the chassis done. We've got the front gearbox in and spinning. We've got one of the differentials in. We've got the motor mounted up and the pinion on. And I think you'll agree it's coming along very nicely. The motor's going to slip in there like that. Yeah, really excited to see this machine up and running and really enjoying this build. So join us as we come back and revisit this build and move further on our Tamiya MudMad build. I'm Brett, and thanks for watching.